All right, guys, welcome back. We are watching Frieren, Season 1, Episode 17. We are really getting there, huh? 11 episodes left, I think. I think it's 28 in the first season, which is a weird number. Anyway, last time, we had an amazing episode. We had Old Man Vol, all that stuff with him, his relationship with Frieren, and, like, how they relate to each other. Very interesting. And more importantly, in my mind, Sign. I really think Sign is going to be leaving us, and I'm sad, but it also makes sense because of what's on the screen right now, because of what we're looking at, right? Um, I can only hope. Well, you know what? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes down first. I'm very curious. It will be interesting. That is for sure. He's making a similar decision to what Frieren made. He's just making it before it's too late, right? So good for him, I suppose. So hey, we're watching episode 17. You can line your own copy up with this if you want to. We are starting in 3, 2, 1. It sure is. And if it's the goal of your journey, we have no other choice, right? Hmm. Forgot his name was Gorilla Warrior. Man, I forgot all about that. Oh, the statues, yeah. I wish I could have met Kraft. Right. Frieren understands, of course. Sun's about to set. Would he even want to wait that long, I wonder? Hmm. Oh, new opening! Oh my... I actually didn't think we were going to get another opening because it's been so long with the first one. Oh my god. I've never heard this one before. I definitely heard the other one before. It's like a very popular song, I think. Ooh. Different color. New people, new characters. Himmel the hero. Ooh, mages, yeah. Oh. Quite the look there. Ooh. Her from the end. She was the one at the end of the first episode, at the end of the first ending, right? Ah, that was great. No, that's a great man. Amazing opening. Take care. Yeah. Sounds like words of parting to me. No, really good opening. Less melancholic than the first one for sure. Oh. Are you okay, Ford? Oh, true. She has frostbite or something. Yeah, Stark can warm them up. Oh, it's got to be so bittersweet for him. He already knows what decision he's making. I'm sure he must, right? Oh, it's gonna snow. Yeah. Rough time to set out. Right. But consign way to winter, you know? Sure, sure. we're gonna wake up to a serious blizzard. Yeah, yeah. I knew right as she said that. Yeah. Okay. Oh my god. Well, maybe he won't have a choice, huh? Yeah. Great. I like your mustache. Probably no one else can be showing up that needs it with this weather. Okay. I guess we are stuck. Sure, sure. Oh, a shady old man, huh? Legendary level spells. Oh boy. It's like what? It's whatever spell she's gonna get is gonna be stupid. Yeah, hit me. What do we got? Wow, that is no. Unironically, those are pretty impressive. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. No, actually, no, like for real, right? It's an era of peace. Who needs to fight stuff, right? Who needs combat spells? I true, true. Yeah, he's used to harsh winters, I suppose. Yeah, yeah. Hmm. Delaying his choice. Not that that has to be a bad thing exactly. Ooh. She doesn't handle the cold well, huh? How did that happen? Oh, yeah. Hmm. And then true, I suppose. Ooh. What is it? Uh-oh. Not again. Not again. Oh well, interesting. I wonder if they're fighting. Right, right. I'm sure Haiter always did. What is happening? Okay, I guess they are fighting. What is going on? What did he do? Oh, okay. Well, we're in agreement. What's there to argue about? Come on. Yeah, please. God, the Frieren needs to learn a thing or two from Sign before we look at her face. Come on. What happened? Exactly. Sure, sure. You did the same thing to her, and that was unacceptable. That's not fair. I guess. Come on. I mean, this is like this should be such a non-issue. Like, I come on. Yes, very much so. Although I don't know if you should say like me. Come on. Mm-hmm. Ah, we need him so much. God. Maybe we don't though. We'll be fine. Why do you get up so upset anyway? Yeah, I mean, come on. Okay, you just didn't know how to react. Oh, sure, kind of scary in a way, I'm sure. Yeah, yeah. Of course not. She loves him. Sure, right. Yeah, just be open about your feelings, right? Perfect. God, because that's the problem. It literally. I feel like that would make things like complicated and awkward though if we were in here. Like I don't know, but sure. Maybe we should finish the journey first. Although it's going to take 10 years. I don't know. I guess it gives him a taste of what he wants, right? Hmm. She sees herself in you a lot. Exactly. Yeah. Although it's not dislike. Come on. Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Sure. I'm sure she's seen it many times, and with her herself, of course. Right. Yeah. Oh. How she still is just the same as back then. She looks the same, right? She's the same person, obviously. He has. He's had so much fun. It's gotta be hard to give up, right? Have we heard this music before? God, there's thunder outside. Right, exactly. Yeah, yeah, how even heighter. Yeah, yeah. Oh, man. I don't want him to leave. I love Sign. But it's for that purpose, essentially, right? Like, this, it's what Frieren would want him to do, right? She's pushed him for this reason, right? So, yeah, yeah. Gotta go after Gorilla Warrior. Don't live with regrets, exactly, right? That's what it comes back to. That's it? Come on. I guess, right? That's all it has to be. Because we'll see him again. I know we'll see him again. We have to see him again. Ah, man. I know, right? But sure, sure. He knows what the decision means. But just because he's an adult doesn't mean it hurts any less. But, he knows his decision. He knows why he's making it. Oh, man. Oh, it must be. Hope it's not that far. 29 years after the death of Himmel the Hero in the Othen mountain range, located in the northern lands. God, big ass mountains, huh? Jeez. Some fishing, I suppose. Very impressive, very nice. You got all kinds of stuff, man. Ooh. Maybe. Is that all? Looks good, looks good. How much experience does he have with cooking? I don't remember if they've mentioned it before. Are they okay? It's not another curse or something. Oh, or are they sick? Ugh. Okay. Well, that's not gonna work. Yeah. You're probably better luck with Fern. Ooh. Yeah. Come on, get up. Or is this Stark has to take all the responsibility right now, huh? Ooh. Yeah. She's kind of always the one who takes care of so much, takes care of other people. Stop losing things, Frieren. There we go. Got a spell for it, maybe? Oh. Sure, sure. Okay, magic to identify her illness. Right. That sounds. Oh, okay. So you can do it. Or do you? Does that, like, come on. Interesting. Huh. So she can. Hmm. Very interesting. Because it's so linked to the goddess, which is so thematically linked to stuff about Frieren. That is interesting. Well, it's the middle of the mountains. I don't know. Okay, okay. Nice, nice. Okay, okay. Got some visitors. I'm sure Fern will be okay, of course. Oh, God, she must be really tired though. She's been asleep this whole time. Oh, yeah, things change. Such a nice world at times. Icicle cherry blossom tree. Can imagine that being effective for like a fever, I suppose. Keeps looking at her hands. Huh. Yeah. Sure, sure. You're kind of holding it weird, but I guess. Ooh. Don't say that. Come on. Well, you kind of are, in a way, still. But, I get it. I understand. She did grow up pretty quick. She has an interesting relationship with Frieren. Stark was that same size back then, so. Hmm. And she is. And so are you, in a way. Yeah. Like, literally like your daughter. Yeah. Hmm. It's interesting how Frieren has, like, learned so much from her despite that. Not like her viewing her in that way. Fern shouldn't be embarrassed by it. Like, I get it, though. Another one of these. This one's snowy. Had to take a break because it was snowing so hard, I guess. So pretty, the sky. Yeah, where is it? Oh, okay, okay. Oh, wow. That is a very fancy tree, huh? Oh. Oh, the icicles, yeah. God, that looks crazy. Very. Yeah, yeah. Hmm. Sure. Well, she's sick. Sure, sure. I guess this idea of being treated like a child, I don't know. I feel like it comes from a place of like insecurity more than anything. Sure. So, no kidding. Yeah. But the idea of receiving support can be seen as like weak in a way, right? That's kind of where the embarrassment can come from. And she's felt it too. Mm-hmm. You have to be willing to accept it, essentially. Yeah. Right, exactly. Hmm. I like, come on. I see, yeah. Hmm. So cute. God. Sure. Yeah, right. Yeah, she wants to seem strong for you. Yeah. And for Frieren as well. Yeah. Because she does almost have this motherly role for Frieren as well. Like, both of them kind of do. Sure. Or Frieren could. Don't say that. Some very pretty mushrooms, too. They're big. Yeah. For us to eat that whole thing. This looks like, yeah, an evil mixture. Okay, I guess it doesn't look that bad. Yeah. Starts learning. Yeah. Everyone's a child. Everyone's a child. What does it mean to be an adult? Come on. It's like what Heither said, right? About being an adult. I guess, really depends on how you define adult. It has to do with how you view yourself, I suppose. Right. Even sign. Yeah. Lots of support. Lots of support. It's just what we need. Alrighty. Hmm. Oh, a new ending too. Oh, it's like, okay, okay, all right. Oh, the art style. Wow. Is this all gonna be like one shot like this? Oh, oh, wow. There it is. Oh, that art style switch. Oh my god. Ah, anytime, anywhere. Beautiful. Oh, oh man. What an ending, huh? God, no spoilers, no spoilers. Alrighty. That was really good. Okay, we'll talk about the episode in the discussion. Okay, let's talk about the episode. Man, I am sad because Sign is gone. But you know what? It makes sense. I get it. I get it. It's I mean we talked about it last discussion, I suppose, but it makes complete sense. It's essentially like what Frieren said. It's why Frieren understands why he's leaving so much, you know. I think it would have been contrary to a lot of the lessons we've learned and the themes we've been talking about for the whole show if Sign had stayed around. So he's gone. That's just how it is, I guess. It's rough. I loved him. It's like one of my favorite characters for sure. It's always impossible for me to like rank my characters in shows. Like I can never do it. But Sign is up there. If on a hypothetical ranking where I could actually do it, again, it's like I don't know who Sign would be above, but he would be up there, right? He's awesome. He was great. And I'm sure we'll see him again someday. Like for sure, right? Like there's no way he's gonna be gone forever. I feel like that is part of Frieren's understanding him leaving and like their quick goodbye here, you know. I mean, and they literally leave saying see you later, you know. So we'll see him again, I'm sure. Who knows if that will be at like the end of the story or something, but I'm sure we'll see him again. The other interesting thing that's always been like his dynamic with the rest of the party here is he is like such an adult and such a, you know, such a grown-up person that it's not like he hampered the relationships between the others. Like, no, he certainly helped them, you know. But it is interesting how, in his absence, how I think that will be, you know, dealing with problems interpersonally. We'll kind of, you know, it'll be something with him not being here, you know. It makes me think, like, if we didn't have Sign around, what would the solution to, like, Fern's birthday or Stark's birthday, you know, both of those cases, what would it have been, you know? I don't know. I wonder, right? But hey, he's not here now, so maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll see. And Fern got so sick. Feel bad for her. It makes you think. I mean, we talk about the whole thing about adults that's brought up yet again, which is so relevant to Sign. Like all the stuff Heiter said about being an adult, you know. So yeah, very sad, very sad. It was the goal of his journey all along to reunite with his friend who departed 10 years ago. Hmm. And God, I had really forgotten that his friend's name was Gorilla Warrior. I mean, I didn't forget. I just made like I wasn't on my mind. I just wasn't thinking about it. And then when they said Gorilla, I'm like, oh yeah, it's Gorilla Warrior. Of course, of course. So he's got to go. So what's interesting is we're going up here. I guess he's just gonna be way off to the east. I assume we're gonna be following the coast closer. So we aren't gonna be close to him at all, I suppose. But still, it's very sad. Very sad. But the reason we're going here for the magical city is the whole, well, do we just have to travel through here to get up further north? Because we could just go through Tur, right? But there's also the weird thing about, like, the magical qualification or whatever, right? Whatever they called it. Something like that, right? And we have a new opening, which is very, very cool. Frieren knows, of course. Yeah, it's his journey to chase after Gorilla. Frieren knows, obviously. She understands. I think she's very happy that he decides to go after his goal, right? We get a new opening. Man, it's so good. I've only watched it that one time. I haven't rewatched it, but it seems just like the first one. It's just like the first one in a lot of ways. Like just structurally, it feels so similar. It's much less melancholic than the first one, which I like. Like the first opening had some sad moments, like Frieren looking out the window at Fern and Stark, all that, you know. I feel like it's more closely resembles like Frieren's mindset about things now and the way she is about the world, you know. Very nice. And a whole bunch of new characters. Whole bunch of new characters that we haven't seen yet. We got like some mage girls doing some cool stuff here. Yeah, these two. The weird elf lady that was at the end of the first opening shows up in this one. Just a whole bunch of people. So many people. These two looks intriguing. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Her umbrella looks sad. At a funeral or something, maybe. Who knows? And her. Yeah, that's definitely her. She has the elf ears. So that's the lady that was at the end of the first opening. At the end of the first opening, she seemed so like, I don't know, she seemed kind of like scary, kind of ominous, you know? Less so in this opening, I suppose. But she's an elf, which is interesting. It's always going to be very interesting to see how Frieren reacts to people of her kind, kind of brought up in this episode too. Said 17, take care. Um, so we were going to set off into, they were going to be separated much sooner, but it starts snowing. It's very cold. We get a big blizzard. Fern's hands are very cold. She brutally attacks Stark with them. Hmm. It's snowing, and I was really thinking we weren't gonna wait. I didn't think we were gonna be stuck, but unless it's a serious blizzard, and of course, immediately there's a serious blizzard. Obviously, why wouldn't there be, right? Hmm. So Sion gets some last moments, I guess. I mean, it's more than moments. They're stuck here for like a while, right, waiting at the blizzard. So he gets some more time to spend with his crew for a while. There's a magic shop. I wonder what spell Frieren got here. We didn't hear anything about that, right? I wonder if she's gonna pull that out at some point. There's a legendary level spell. Which honestly, the legendary level spells, yeah, being things like getting rid of mold, getting rid of tough oil stains, getting rid of like rust or something, like, yeah, that's crazy, you know? Like, actually, that's so useful, you know? Who needs crazy like battle magic and stuff? For one, Frieren just like one-shots everything anyway, using the same spell. So she doesn't need some crazy like battle magic, you know? It makes sense that it's like these weird, like granular, complicated things that these legendary spells exist for, you know? Like these I guess we don't really know how magic works, like exactly. But it seems like controlling your magic well enough to like remove rust from something or something like that would be a lot more difficult than just shooting a giant laser beam, you know? So those being legendary level, that actually makes complete sense. Makes complete sense. Spells are so convenient, they change your world. Exactly, exactly. Well, we've gotta wait. Stark did nearly die last time. That is very true. Sounds like we'll be staying together for a while longer. Yeah. Another montage. Have we ever had an episode without a montage in it? I'm trying to think. Man, I don't know. They're always so good. They're always so good. We love the montages, that's for sure. Frieren gets I don't know, is she getting another grimoire? Is this a spell? Is there some kind of spell contained in this book that she's getting from the ominous old man? Maybe, maybe. Hmm. How did this happen? How did this happen? Cold Wave should be ending soon. Continue along the journey. So Frieren has to come find Sign because Stark and Frieren are acting strange. They're fighting yet again. They God, they really need. God, I don't know. Their problem is so sad because Stark always takes responsibility for everything. He always says he's the one at fault, whether he is or isn't, to be honest. He always says he's the one at fault. So it's not a problem of him being stubborn or anything, right? It never is. The problem he always has is he has no idea what he did. And he has no idea even if it is his fault. He just always immediately says, "Oh, it's my fault. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that," right? Oh, which is like, that's a bad problem to have in a way. It's better than refusing to admit anything's your fault. Fern's problem is like what? She's too embarrassed to like explain what she's upset about, right? Which like makes sense. Like I understand that, right? It's hard to have that talk with someone that you're upset with about like anything, especially something like this, where she was like scared of the way he grabbed her. That is like a kind of like a hard topic to breach in a way, especially because it comes from a place of Stark. Like, I don't know, he doesn't understand his own strength, right? As the problem is, he underestimates himself all the time. So, of course, a situation like this, it makes sense why he would, be like this, I feel like. It's Stark's fault. It's his fault. And of course, Sign has to be the mediator. Frieren can't do it, I suppose. I don't know, it's interesting, right? That Frieren is painted in this way as being so unable to do it. And I guess she kind of is, right? Because the thing about her is she is just as much of a child as them, right? If anything, it feels like Fern has taught her just as much as Frieren has ever taught Fern, right? Um, I feel like without Sign, it's not like we're completely helpless, right? Like we'll be fine. I'm sure we can hash out issues like this, right? If anything else, I hope this last issue that we just dealt with Sign here will be something we can look back on and use in the future, right? I hope. What happened? He wanted to get back at her with the yeah. Of course girls don't like it when you put your hands on their face. Like I guess, like I suppose, right? I feel like it seems like it should be such a non-issue, right? Um but at the same time, maybe that is kind of minimizing the problem. Like I guess I understand. I guess I kind of get it, right? Like I wonder if in some way it speaks to like a larger dynamic in their relationship that I'm not really thinking of, you know? Like a deeper reason why Fern would be upset about this, you know? Obviously, they're both just so, they just dance around their feelings and all of this. They're both so, like, they're like this, you know? So, I get it, right? I get it. I think I get it. Maybe. Stark, unlike me, you're good at heart. A sad thing to say, honestly. I feel like you're perfectly fine, Sign. Come on. Be honest, tell her how you feel. If you want to make up, then you have to tell her that. Very true, very true. Which I like. God, because the thing about Sign is his problem, where this like originated from. It all comes back to like this failure of communication he had with his brother, right? So I guess of course Stark and Fern have to be particularly infuriating to him, because he himself had an issue that came from like that same place, this lack of communication, you know. So like, yeah, Frieren won't mediate for you. And I don't know, maybe the question is, maybe the reality of the situation is that Fern and Stark shouldn't really need a mediator. You know, most relationships, you aren't lucky enough to have an adult in the room who can just do everything for you and like, smooth out the problems between two people like this. You know, it's really, I guess, the reality is just that Stark and Fern got to be able to do this by themselves, right? Um, and again, like it's not really like I don't want to blame either of them for the like dynamic of the relationship like this. It's just Fern needs to be able to like say what the problem is. Stark needs to like not act so like pathetic, right? Like because if Stark didn't immediately react the way he always does in a situation like this, I think it would be easier for Fern to like come to him and tell him what the actual problem is, right? Because he always just goes down and goes into like a puppy mode where he just starts crying and just starts being like, "Yeah, it's all my fault. I'm so sorry," when he doesn't even know what he did wrong, right? And that makes it harder for Fern to like approach the situation. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. They both need to do better. Hmm. I know I'm being stubborn. And I guess she gets it. She understands in a way, right? I guess it does relate to um the same like minor issue she has with like this idea of being called a child later on in the episode, right? I guess it's kind of close to that, right? And she blames herself too. They both blame themselves, which honestly, if they both think it's their own fault all the time, as long as they can communicate, then that's like fine, right? Because they can reach a mutual understanding, it'll all be good, right? And it all just comes back to communication, which unfortunately both of them I seem to not be very good at. So, and Frieren isn't either. So, yeah, scared of him. Yeah. Hmm. I mean, and that's kind of that's kind of Stark's thing in a way. Do you not like Stark? Why would you ask that? Is that how it seems to you? And tell him you were scared and make up. Exactly, exactly. Even in this case, I feel like I don't know. It doesn't have to be framed with like Fern just telling Stark off. Like Stark could like when Stark acts like this with everything, he just acts so dejected and so like, oh, I'm so sorry, it was horrible. I can't believe this happened, right? It feels like less genuine in a way, right? Again, I feel like I'm really like piling on them for something that really like it's not like a crazy issue, right? But I'm just saying, like, if Stark didn't react like this to like everything and always act like such a crybaby all the time, it's harder in a way to like feel like it's feel like it's like genuine, you know what I mean? But that's fine, right? That's something he can learn. Just start dating already. It's literally they'll be there one day. They'll get there one day. I'm not sure what happened, but I think you're trying really hard. He sure is. He sure is. You're the only one who praises me like I'm a kid. And I guess, yeah, we bring up this idea of being a kid, essentially, praising someone like they're a kid, right? Which it's an interesting thing because, like, it's kind of this idea that in some way it's like once you become an adult, once you become old enough, there's this like this level, there's this expectation, this level of like things that are expected of you, a way that you should be, some kind of emotional strength you're supposed to have, like having all your stuff together, like being a certain way. And people stop praising you for it. People stop, like, yeah, complimenting you about it because you're just an adult. It's how you're supposed to be, it's. And I guess ever since Frieren, essentially, ever since like that conversation with Himmel, and I guess just her relationship with Himmel in general, right? Like Frieren's whole motivation about magic, for example, comes from like this place where it's like, being praised from by Himmel and like her group in general, right? For enjoying her magic, right? It comes from a place like that for her, right? Where it's like she kind of she defies that expectation, or she dislikes it in a way. She views everyone like a kid, essentially. Which is a much better way to live your life, right? I think you will be happier if you don't like the way that Frieren rejected Frieren treating her like a kid. I think that's a recipe for like unhappiness, right? Because like what Sign here says essentially, right? That like oh, it's like being treated like a kid to be praised the way that Frieren is. If you view things like that in like a negative way, that's just such a bad way to live your life. I mean, it's like we talked about it in the show before, but it's like this idea that you should be praised by people around you while you're still on Earth. You shouldn't have to wait to die and go to heaven and have the goddess praise you. It's just little things like that. That's what I love about the show so much, is how so many of the conflicts are like these tiny like character interactions that feel like they I don't matter that much, like in quotes, right? They do matter. They matter to the characters, right? But it's just like these little things that it feels like for most people would just be something that just goes unnoticed, right? Or would just be like these things in relationships that would just like pile up and would just be unaddressed things, right? And we don't do that. We don't do that in this show. You know what I mean? Like between Stark and Furren in a way. It's like we deal with these problems as if everyone is still a kid, because adults are still just kids, basically. No one's ever not a kid, right? You can always learn, you can always grow. There's no reason to have a weird hostile attitude about being praised or being treated like a child, right? In the sense of people just like Frieren holding Fern's hand, right? Like this, like, because in Fern's mind in that moment, she's thinking about how as an adult, there should be this expectation that she's stronger than this, right? That she shouldn't need someone to hold her hand when she has a cold. And that's just not a feeling. Everyone would be so much happier if they didn't have that feeling, right? If they didn't think like that. Exactly. It's not so bad at all. Hmm. Why do you trouble yourself with me? Like when you invited me to travel with you, it's because she sees herself in you. Yeah, a dislike of my own kind, huh? The way you refused to go on an adventure reminded me of myself before I left to defeat the Demon King. It made me angry. Yeah. That doesn't explain why you concern yourself with me. Yes, it does. Come on. I think I wanted to give you a reason. What does that mean? It's what Himmel the hero would have done. Exactly. Like helping people around you in that way. It's not even just because like what Himmel would have done. I just think it has to be such a fulfilling thing to do. I feel like Frieren herself has to find so much meaning just like for her own reasons for helping Sign chase after the same thing that she is doing now. Not having someone go down the same path that she did. Oh God, and this transition, she still looks the same. She's changed so much, but they gave me the courage to travel and taught me the joy of spending time with friends. Exactly. And it's never too late to learn those lessons. It doesn't matter how old you are, right? Like, it's just, yeah, no, exactly. Exactly. He sure has had fun. But it has to end. He has to chase his dream. Gonna become an unforgettable hero like Himmel. Thinking of the present. Oh God, how much all of these people have been impacted by Frieren. Not only just Frieren, but like just by the same kind of thing here, right? The same like dynamic. Yeah. Hmm. Said the two of you would become heroes whose names would be remembered forever. And it's never too late to chase that, right? Despite how long it's been, despite all this time that he spent delaying that goal, you know? He can still chase it now, you know? Just because he's an adult, it doesn't matter, right? Just because that goal was, like, childish in the moment, seemed so childish, right? You can still chase it, right? Decided to go after Gorilla. I won't live with regrets anymore. Exactly. Like, essentially, like, just the same thing that Frieren decided in episode 1. That she isn't going to have another relationship end up the same way as it did with Himmel. She doesn't want to have regrets in her relationships with other people from now on. He doesn't want to regret not chasing after this, right? Even though he's already regretted it for all these years, he can still, you know, he can change that now, right? Exactly. And off we go, a pretty, yeah, muted goodbye, pretty quick goodbye. But we'll see him again someday, I'm sure. Unlike you two, Sign is an adult. I guess. Oh, God, I'm gonna miss him. I really am gonna miss him. It's so quiet traveling alone, I know, but he'll find more people, he'll be, you know. I'm sure we'll see him again someday. 29 years after the death of Himmel the Hero in the Offen mountain range located in the northern lands, as usual, we are gonna look up. We're gonna translate Offen. I bet it means something. Open. It means open, sure. I guess it is pretty open, in like a way. Pretty open mountains, I guess. Like, kinda. Giant, crazy mountains, at the very least, right? They're insane. Stark, off fishing, gathering stuff, and Fern is sick. Stark does some good cooking. Have we seen Stark, like, cook before? I'm trying to think. Have they ever mentioned Stark and cooking? I'm really trying to remember. Maybe they have. I feel like they have. I just really don't remember. I really don't remember. And Fern is sick. I'm surprised Frieren doesn't get up right away. Like, come on. Need to keep warm and rest. Absolutely. Fern has to be the one looked after for once. She takes so much responsibility on her shoulders, you know? Again, it's like she had to grow up so fast because her parents died. And then just considering her relationship with Frieren, right? And even just like her relationship with Heiter, she felt the need to, like, pay him back through her, like, magic, you know, from such a young age, you know? It's like she's always felt this, like, sense of responsibility to the people around her, you know? So her being vulnerable like this, it makes sense. She has this thing about being seen as, like, a child, you know? So Frieren now, Frieren can use the magic of the goddess, which is very interesting. She has a holy scripture. This isn't the book she got from, the guy there, is it? I don't think it is. It doesn't look like it. So I don't know where she got this from, unless she did get it from him. I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe it is. Either way, she can use some magic of the goddess, which is interesting. I think considering that the goddess has been, you know, in the way that the goddess has been used as this thing that, you know, like, in the afterlife, it, you know, praises you for all the things you've done, all of that, and that's been contrasted with, like, Frieren's attitude about praising people while they're still here on Earth, right? Basically, making your life meaningful before it's too late in that way, you know? I don't know, it is interesting that she can do it at all, I feel like. I don't really know what to make of it, but it is interesting. There's a place nearby where I once gathered herbs with Himmel and the others. She has a good mental map, huh? So we have arrived here at a little, where there used to be a village, now it's just a little, yeah. The whole village here before. Makes you wonder. I wonder how this village, like, died out. Just everyone moved away, I assume, right? Just, why stay in a little village like this? That's kind of normally how it is, right? Tiny places, once their population reaches a certain point, just kind of drops more and more and more. Till it's just gone, eventually. We're gonna get the ingredients for Fern's medicine. When Fern has a cold, holding her hand makes her feel better. She's been that way since she was a child. And Fern feels the need to, like, reject that, right? She feels this embarrassment about being treated like a child in that way. But it's like really where that embarrassment comes from. This idea of being treated like a child is just, it feels like you aren't meeting this expectation of like not needing to rely on other people, right? It generally, genuinely, now that I'm like thinking of it, it really is like kind of just this horrible uh negative way of viewing things, right? Like just this idea that you need to be self-sufficient like that and not rely on others, despite those people being here and like offering that you to like be able to rely on them, you know? It's just, I don't know, it's just, it seems like just a very toxic, just not good way to think, right? And obviously I'm not like blaming Fern for thinking like that. I think literally everyone on Earth like understands like Fern's thought process here, right? I'm saying in general, it's just, it's interesting, right? How just like the idea of like regret, something like that, right? A feeling that everyone can understand. It's something that really, if you really think about it, it's like, what's the purpose of ever wallowing in that kind of emotion, you know? Or, like in this case, right? Just rejecting someone's eager help and wanting to help you because you think it's embarrassing in some way, you know? It's like, it's just it's so sad when you really think about it, right? But it's such a hard thing to like break out of. I feel like literally no one on the planet is immune to this kind of feeling. You know what I mean? Because especially for Fern and Fern's relationship, especially, it's like Fern has been almost like a mother figure to Frieren in a lot of ways, right? Frieren has all of these problems that she's developed over her long life, right? That Fern, like, didn't have. She was a lot better with these things than Frieren was, just, like, by default, because she hasn't had the same experience as Frieren has, right? So she is, you know, she's always been better at getting up in the morning and taking care of stuff, things that Frieren hasn't done, you know? So especially being, like, kind of doted on by Frieren like this in this situation, it has to feel like extra embarrassing in a way because it's just this is a person who, in a lot of ways, Fern is like, you know, she's more mature and responsible than her in some ways, right? Frieren obviously is more mature and responsible than Fern in like a lot of other ways, right? They're not, you know, there's not like a ladder here of like who's better than the other or something, right? But I get it, right? And it is also in front of Stark, which is also like another layer to it, right? This idea that you have to seem like responsible and self-sufficient for like the sake of someone that you like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, very interesting to think about. 2 years she'll be a full-grown adult. It wasn't long ago she was only came up to here. She sounds so much like a mom, right? Like, literally, in my mind, Fern is still a child. Exactly. Probably always think of her that way. Yeah. Hmm. In a sense, though, of course, everyone is a child. Frieren's still a child, right? Even Sign, in a lot of ways, is still a child, right? Everyone. You never stop being a child. We get another turtle. A tortoise, maybe? Isn't this literally like the exact same shot, just this one's covered in snow, and it's... Was Fern even... Was Fern down here last time? I remember this. I remember Frieren, like, looking at it like this, right? It was when they were looking for, like, the blue flowers, right? For Himmel's statue. Another shot of us walking across a giant log across a canyon. If only Fern was here, we could have added that to the counter of how many times this has happened. The Frieren apparently has much more practice doing this than Stark. I guess Frieren can also fly, so she could catch herself if she fell, and Stark can't, but, you know. Hmm. So we have arrived at the tree. It is crazy. It's so beautiful, honestly. So beautiful. We gotta I wish we could show Fern this. I wish we could come here. I mean, Fern can fly. Yeah, just bring her out here. Come on. Why do you hold Fern's hand? Normally you don't treat her that much like a child. Wasn't trying to treat her like a child. I simply held her hand because it looked like she was in pain. Exactly. You don't have to view it in that negative way of it being like childish, right? Yeah, only way I know how to relieve her pain. What should I have done? Exactly. Yeah, yeah. Like, if you really think about it, there's nothing wrong with that, right? People probably need emotional support. Yeah, you never don't need that support. There's nothing strong about rejecting that support, right? Yeah, yeah. You're moaning in your sleep. We feel helpless when we're sick. Exactly. I lost my mother when I was young, but she used to hold my hand like this. That's sad. That Himmel lost his parents, huh? Hmm. It's not just children who need emotional support. It doesn't bother you. It shouldn't. It better not. I'm pretty handsome when I'm being considerate, aren't I? Like, thank you, Himble. Thank you. Thank you. And that too. Fern was probably embarrassed because Stark was there. Yeah, like that's just another layer to it, right? No one likes being seen like a acting like a pampered child. Sure, sure. Hmm. Don't. It's embarrassing. Like, come on, Stark. We're gonna hold your hand when you're sick. Like, you better get used to it. The mushrooms are huge, and then Frieren puts together her like witch's pot. It's like that NPC in Silk Song. Hmm. Stark gets good at milking the cows. Dang. Putting some skills together, huh? Miss Frieren, I'm not a child anymore. I know that. Exactly. You don't have to be a child to be supported. Come on. And Fern is all better. Thank God. Thank God. Sign too. Sign help too. Yeah, signs notes. Exactly. Exactly. Her destination is, oh God, how do you say it? Like Auersurst? Something like that, right? I'm not I it's so hard to say. I don't know. And off we go. New ending too. This ending is insane. This is like the some of the best. Oh God, it looks so good. I have to like skip through it. I can't really go through it second by second because even with like the filter on this, YouTube still copyright strikes it. So it does this with like every ending. It's so every opening and ending, like the copyright detection is so harsh. It's very unfortunate. And I'm sure if I like counter, if I went through the whole process of trying to like counter notify and stuff and blah blah blah, I'm sure it would still get up. I just don't want to deal with that, you know. But the ending is incredibly good. It's like the second part of this song. I don't know if this is literally just the second half of it, you know, that the first half is the first ending, but I think so, right? But God, it's so good. It's so good. Like the animation changes, you know, it's like claymation here. It's crazy, crazy. So good, so good. Man, I guess that's it. That's episode 17 of Free I feel like I say this every time, but this was such a good episode. This has to have been actually one of my favorite episodes, like for sure, like for real. This is one of my favorite episodes of the show. This was so good. So yeah, I guess that's it. So please leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Subscribe if you enjoy my videos. Leave a comment. I already said that. So yeah, I guess that's it. I'll see you in the next one.